And I have to admit, that was actually a pretty cool episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS. It's so rare where you see a main character have to go through so many emotions in a duel, sacrifice his own body in order to achieve his goals. I mean, Revolver really is a main character we can aspire to be. Obviously I'm joking, but in a little way I'm not at the same time. Revolver in this episode was very main character-like. He was self-sacrificing, he had a clear motivation for why he was doing these things. His father even sacrificed himself so that his son helped save humanity and things like this. And I'm like, wow, Revolver, you're a pretty awesome dude. That's not to say that Yusaku didn't have his moments in this episode. I was honestly blown away when he stuck his arm into the data storm and it just ripped his arm clean off. When he even fell off his board as well, I didn't expect the outcomes that we had. So, yeah, both these characters really pushed themselves beyond what their bodies were even capable of. So that was a pretty cool thing to see in a Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel as well. Some of the real character moments. I liked it. But I want to just pop back to the start of the episode. At the start, we see that Revolver, in his proper human form with his white hair, is looking out through his window on his little beach sort of house thing, looking at the sea at the Starlight Road, which I think someone did tell me was when all the jellyfish or something are in the water, so it looks like it's glowing. Or something like that. The Starlight Road to Revolver is kind of a metaphor, I think. There's a lot more to what he sees there. I think it's the aspiration for something greater. To achieve his father's goals, he needs to head down this path. Because you notice that when his father sacrificed himself, gave Revolver the power up to do the Data Storm grab thing, the Starlight Road appeared in front of him. So there was a lot of, like, metaphor stuff going on there. I think, as well, we've had Revolver's real name revealed as well. He was called Ryoken. Dr. Kagami's like, listen, Ryoken, I've never really been a very good father to you, yet you've been the perfect son. You've never complained about the things I've asked you to do, and I never wanted you to be involved in this kind of thing. However, we need you in order to save humanity, and this is your goal. Obviously, in the next episode, we get to see that Revolver and Yusaku in their human forms are going to interact, and we get to learn more about the why everything has been happening in the series so far. So this is, I think, is where we're going to learn that Revolver is a good guy, more or less, or just sort of, he's somewhere in between. He's got his noble causes, but he's just going to these extremes to try and achieve them. So I'm curious to see that. We had some brand new monsters introduced to us as well in this episode. This is Security Dragon, which I don't think we've been summoned before, but that was kind of cute. When it came out, it kind of mirrored the pose of the Firewall Dragon, and obviously it's like a little version of it. So Security Dragon was pretty adorable, I guess. When Ignis realizes how many life points they have left, he's like, listen, Yusaku, you've only got 400 life points. Wait, 400 life points? And that meant the Data Storm bit. Everything to do with that little Data Storm moment, the fact that he's getting ripped up before he even starts going towards the Data Storm, I thought was cool. Puts his arm in, it rips his arm off, and he falls off. I really thought that was going to be the end of it, like he tried to achieve something, then he failed. I didn't expect Ignis being able to come out of the dual disc and having like a physical form, able to grab Yusaku, pick him up. Not only that, he was able to take control of the dual board in order to steer it and give it sort of a boost in speed, as well as create a barrier so that all the debris wouldn't hit him. So Ignis really did well on this moment. And this also brings up an interesting point, because last week we had Yusaku saying that, I don't really care about you, Ignis. You've just been a tool, you've been a hostage, I've never considered you a friend. However, when Ignis did this action, and then when Ignis says goodbye, Playmaker, and he disappears for a moment, I see real concern in Yusaku's eyes. The same concern you wouldn't really see over a hostage that you have, more as a friend. And obviously Ignis is always referring to him as a partner, so he seemed pretty happy when Ignis came back as well. So I think Yusaku, because of Ignis saving him this time, may start to develop some care for Ignis, which, yeah. We also got a brand new Talker monster. This is the orange one now, called Transcode Talker, which was pretty cool. I really liked its effect. It was able to special summon any Code Talker monster from the graveyard into a direction that it pointed to, and it pointed up, right, and down. So if you special summon it into your zone, one of your link zones, you can special something below. But does that mean that your opponent gets to special summon a monster onto their zone? Probably not, right? But it also works if it is in one of your main monster zones, because you can special summon it on the right-hand side. And obviously uses this to summon Decode Talker, and then obviously Decode Talker gets a 500 attack point boost from being linked, and then that monster gives out 500 attack points to both because it's linked, and then he activates another card, which if monsters are linked, they gain 500. So I think in the real world, if you summoned another Decode Talker or just any other linked monster to that extra zone on the opponent's side, so your side, you would probably receive that boost as well. So that's obviously the risk of playing it there. I imagine, I'm not too sure. What colours have we had now for the Code Talkers? We've had purple, green, red, orange with this episode, and yellow, I think. If there's any other Code Talkers, let me know. If anybody wants to make a quick list of all the Code Talker monsters we've had revealed so far, let me know. I'd love to know. Obviously, as well, speaking of all the Code Talker monsters, they all have different weapons that they use. Obviously, Decode has the sword. This monster uses a gun, and it was pretty damn awesome. The whole assembling it around his back, and then it comes out. We might as well quickly touch on it one last time. When Dr. Kogami stopped time, no idea how he's that powerful in the virtual world, but fair play anyway. And the fact that he's able to bestow this last message to Revolver, saying all this stuff that we've already just talked about. But then after he does this, he gives the power to him. Revolver is very aware of what's going to happen. And he says he doesn't care what happens to him as long as you win. You're the hope of humanity now, Revolver. And then we see Revolver as he's dueling. He's very distracted. He keeps checking his father's heart monitor thing as his BPM is going down, and you can see, I'm sure I could hear the voice actor that was doing Revolver when he started doing one of his moves. His voice was cracking, like he was about to cry kind of thing. And I don't know if that was intentional or that was it just happened to, I might have just heard it. But if that's the case, then I thought it was really good. I really bought into that. Now, some people I think will agree with Revolver's decision, and some people I think will disagree with it. I think the natural reaction to a human being finding out their parent has died, they would want to get out of whatever situation they are to be by that person's side. However, his dad specifically sacrificed himself so that Revolver could beat Yusaku, so that he'd be able to achieve his goals. However, Revolver decides that he can't do this duel anymore. I'm sorry, I can't continue. So he ends the duel in a draw, which I love how antagonists find it really easy to get the draw whenever they want to. That's like the easy way out, and you only ever do that when you're in a rush. But he does that because he wants to be by his father's side, because he knows that he's just passed away. So yeah, I just thought that was not selfish of Revolver, but I feel like he should have at least won the duel. But obviously it's a story, you have to do this sometimes, create tension. But I am glad that Yusaku didn't win this duel. I didn't want him to. We've already had him beat Revolver, one of the main antagonists of this show so far. You wouldn't want to beat him twice, because then where's the threat? But we know that Revolver's had an upgrade and all these new monsters, so I'm okay with the outcome, because it wasn't a stupid draw. There was a reason why there had to be a draw, and Revolver pushed for the draw. Whereas when sometimes you get outcomes where it's just like, oh, I attack you directly, well, I play my trap, kills us both. I was absolutely fine with this. Last thing, which I can't believe I mentioned yet, we have a new Topologic monster as well. Topologic Gamble Dragon. Excellent name, absolutely love it. I thought that the effect would actually have more to do with something being gambled, like some coin flips or something like that, but we haven't seen the full potential of that monster yet, so maybe we'll see a little bit more of it. Yusaku and Revolver are growing stronger every duel, every speed duel anyway, so I take back what I said about the speed duel. I was upset that it wasn't going to be a master duel. However, I did call that this duel would end in either a draw or would be interrupted. It was pretty much interrupted anyway, so I kind of called that. You kind of knew it, didn't you? If it's going to be a speed duel, there's going to be something greater, a bigger threat. So I think Revolver's going to reveal what the true threat is in the next episode, because we have to shift focuses now. And what's going to happen with the tower? We're going to see the conclusion of the tower now, or they're going to go straight into the real world, because we don't know what's happened yet. So let's see. Other than that though, guys, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comment section below. Do you think it was one of your favourite Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS episode? Was it one of your okay episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS? What do you think of the possible reveal of Revolver's true name, which is Ryokan? If that is not true, let me know why that's not true, because, I don't know, I'm just guessing. I just heard him say Ryokan, I was like, is that Revolver's real name? Also, what did you think of the new monsters? Let me know in the comment section below, guys. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and catch you later.